So good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sunday morning at the Center for Spiritual Living Carlsbad. Whether you're here in this room or watching online, we welcome you as we join together to celebrate the truth that there is the power for good in the universe, greater than we are, and that we can use it. And so in keeping this in mind, I'd like you to just relax for a moment while I offer a spiritual mind treatment. So let's just remind ourselves of the essential truth of this thing called life, that this is a spiritual universe, and anything beyond this universe, it is infinite. It is perfect. It is love unfolding, and since it is all there is, then each one of us is also must be made of the very substance of spirit itself. We too are made of the substance of love in expression, and we are free. We live a life where we can make our own decisions, and spirit, being perfect love, offers no judgment. And so here and now, I decide to claim on behalf of each and every person here, and on behalf of the world in which we live, that this is the world of good unfolding, that we are connected in wisdom, in peace, in prosperity, that we act according to the highest spiritual principles of love, of life, of good, of intelligence, and that we make wonderful decisions that bring more and more good into our lives and the lives of each other. And I know that here this morning, we have already made a decision. We have made a decision to gather together and to, as a group, plant the seed into this great consciousness we call life. A seed of celebration, a seed of recognition, and a seed of knowing that tomorrow brings ever more expansion of good. This is the truth as I know it. I give thanks that it is so. And I simply let go and turn it over to Spirit, understanding that Spirit always says yes. I invite you to know this together with me by saying, and so it is. Thank you, everyone. So, I think everyone has a song sheet.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to stop. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my it's up to me to dance down that road. Love is my decision, and no one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now.
Good one.
Thank you very much.
So if you will look inside your program, find the group reading. Let's read it together. Ready? There is one life, both visible and invisible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect love and perfect intelligence. I am an individualized expression of all that it is. I am ever one with this perfect life, perfect love, and perfect intelligence. And now I'd like to invite Maddie up to help us light a few candles just in celebration and recognition of a few of the amazing aspects of this thing called life. So first, we light a candle for life itself. Life is everywhere present, flowing through each and every one of us. There is only one life, and that life is God's life, flowing through each and every one of us. So please affirm with me, I am life. We light a candle for love. The birth of love happens within each one of us every time we make room for the Christ consciousness in our hearts and recognize our unity. We are points of love within the heart of God. So please affirm with me, I am love. We light a candle for beauty. The light of God is the presence and the power. Oops, skipped that. Okay, I'm going to go back to that one. We light a candle for beauty. We are made in the likeness and image of God. We are each whole, complete, and beautiful just as we are. We accept the beauty of God's perfection as our perfection now. So please affirm with me, I am beauty. And there are no mistakes because next we light a candle for light. The light of God is the presence and the power. We are always walking in the light. We radiate the light of God wherever we are. So please affirm with me, I am light. We light a candle for joy. Joy is the very nature of spirit and the true essence of each of us. We celebrate the joy of our own rebirth in the God consciousness. We each bring joy to the world. So please affirm with me, I am joy. And we light a candle for peace. Today and every day, we open our heart to peace. We are each a center of peace in our world. So please affirm with me, I am peace. And finally, I invite you to take a moment to recognize your own inner light, that is always shining within, as we each honor our own metaphysical path of wholeness, oneness, and mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles, which are ours to rely upon always. Thank you, Maddie. And now, let's have a song from Richard before Dr. Carol speaks.
Josh Groban had a hit with this in 2007. It's called Thankful. Some days we forget to look around us. beside ourselves. We take when we should give. So for tonight, we pray for what we know can be. And on this day, we hope for what we still can see. It's up to us to be the change. And even though we all can still do more, there's so much to be thankful for. Look beside ourselves. There's so much sorrow. It's way too late to say I'll cry tomorrow. Each of us must find our truth. It's so long overdue. So for tonight, we pray for what we know can be. And every day, we hope for what we still can see. It's up to us to be the change. And even though we all can still do more, there's so much to be thankful for. Even with our differences, there is a place we're all connected. Each of us can find each other's light. So for tonight, we pray for what we know can be. And on this day, we hope for what we still can see. It's up to us to be the change. And even though this world needs so much more, there's so much to be thankful for. There's so much to be thankful for.
I'm Reverend Dr. Carol Carnes, and I'm happy to be here. I'm grateful for every one of you. And for those of you watching us online, welcome. I'm grateful for you too. A couple weeks ago, we gave out these, or I'll put them on the table for you to take, and I encourage you to do it. I end every day when I put my head on the pillow with a gratitude list that I have in my mind, and it's different every day. And I wake up and do the same thing. But I took one of these anyway. I thought, well, this would be interesting to see if I can come up with 10 things every day for a week that are different from the day before. So naturally, the first week was all about, it's easy. It's all about the people I love and my children and Kate and Maureen and Danny and Johnny for their generosity and everybody here in CSL Carlsbad and Science of Mind, and of course jazz had to be on there, and sleep and that was my first. Easy. Second week, I put winning the lottery. I'm grateful for that, even though it hadn't happened yet. But chocolate, baseball. Last night was a little challenging. avocados, laughter, trees, oceans, bells, bicycles, and then the next day, a good meal. Cool breezes, great health, prosperity, flowers, ripe peaches, being liked, kids, conversations, travel. Shall I go on? The day 4, tacos. I couldn't live without them. Newly mown grass, birds, first-class tickets to anywhere, Prosecco, blue sky, ice cream, movies, popcorn, red shoes, and this pen I was writing with. And then there's butter, socks, rainfall, art, dancing, pistachios, gelato, Puccini, birthdays, and generosity. And then it goes on. Kisses, TV, computers, fine dining, cloth napkins, farmers, activists, long walks, rocking chairs, road workers. Every time I go over a pothole, I'm grateful for the road workers that will come and fix it. Red wine, air conditioning, cheeses, memory, toilets. I learned to be grateful for toilets on my first trip to India. Live music, cats and dogs, slippers, photographs, memories, etc., etc. Paper, pens, paint, clay, canvas, sweaters, birdsong, Hawaii, tortillas, and pineapple juice. That's my list so far. Okay, give me a round of applause. That was a good list. Okay, so November is Gratitude Month, and I think it's worth more than one day where we sit around the table and say what we're grateful for. So I'm speaking about gratitude today, and I'm going to start with a question. What is the opposite of gratitude? Well, in a playful mood this morning, I decided it's catitude. You have a cat? Yes. Yeah. They expect a good dinner, and they're not grateful. They're like, is that all you got, honey? Catitude, right? Now, what I know from this teaching is that we can expect the good and still be grateful for what we have now. In fact, it's essential. And I think people who live without gratitude are really missing out on one of the most powerful aspects of human experience, is to know that there's good for me and I ought to have it, but then to come into a teaching like this which shows us how to use certain tools to generate a greater possibility that we can experience that. I think without gratitude, there's a kind of deadness, a boredom, a lack of energy, and even depression. And I don't mean the clinical depression, I mean the kind we induce in ourselves when we're just not paying attention to all the good that's in our life and is around us and available to us. Grateful people tend to be cheerfully expectant of the good things in life: love, support, compassion, kindness, and they seem more alive and involved in life and making good things happen. Now, although it has been taught to us before we came into this teaching that we should thank God for our blessings, and I'm going to be honest here, there are times when I look up and say, thank you, God, but I know I'm not talking about some bearded old white guy in the sky. It's just an old response. But my gratitude is deeper than that. In truth, there is no outer power that requires gratitude. But this is one we can take home today. There is a principle that responds to the vibration of gratitude. And gratitude is a very high vibration. You can feel it. When you're grateful, it's your whole body's singing, right? You can feel it. It is a high vibration. So it draws on whatever we deeply appreciate. This is how the principle works. And there is a tendency in the creative process to operate from patterns, the patterns that we have previously set in motion. And we are the ones who establish those patterns. So it follows that if we are living with a lack of anything we would like more of, we need to attract the energy, we need to activate rather the energy, which is gratitude, that attracts, and that is thankfulness. We create new patterns when we're grateful. The old ones dissolve. I write about gratitude often because I've discovered it to be the essential indication of spiritual maturity. And this is a deep teaching. there's much in life to resist. We know that, to be against, to detest. However, those who initiate deep cultural change are the grateful ones. And I want us to consider today Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Mahatma Gandhi, Ralph Waldo Emerson railed against things, and yet he saw nothing but possibility and the goodness. Eleanor Roosevelt, Helen Keller, all of these people faced great loss and great challenges, and we could just make a huge list of people like that. Yet each one of them delighted in the good. You see, they saw behind the appearance of negativity. If they had not, they could never have done the work they did. They faced tremendous challenges, and yet they saw the good. They were grateful for it, and that was the energy that allowed them to keep moving forward and keep gathering to them what they needed to make significant changes that benefited all of us, really. They were able to act and to improve the lives of millions because they were grateful to begin with. I find that when I make a gratitude list, I usually start off, as I showed you, with the obvious things. Colors, cool drink of water, that sort of thing. My children always. I'm always reminded, though, that it's simpler than that. It's a kind of a constant awareness. I was thinking today, I was talking to Richard about this, about John Denver's song, Sunshine on My Shoulder. Makes me happy. That's gratitude in the most simple way, is to be aware of how life is constantly supporting us. The natural world is our home, and it's like our mother. There's a reason we call it Mother Nature. She supports us in every way. I used to say to students, can you believe there's food on trees? I mean, that's how much it supports us. Go pick an apple and say, thank you, miss. Thank you, Mother Nature. Just be grateful for it. So it's that kind of thing. In our teaching, we have the most revolutionary thing I've ever come up with, called spiritual mind treatment. It is a methodology for moving the mind from wanting, longing, fearing into gratitude for already having, and that gives the process a kick in the old you-know-what to begin the manifestation process and out-picturing in our minds. So there's 3 steps that ErnestHolmes taught. Now, I know some of us went to class and we were taught 5 steps. He only taught 3. And there's a reason for that. The first step is to recognize the spirit, the power, the one source that made us in its image and likeness, and to say it's everywhere present, all the time, all of it, all at once. And step 2 is to unify with it. We can't be separate from that. The universe is not just a place, it's an event, and we're part of it, arising out of it all the time, that love and that intelligence that we call God. And so, the second step is to declare that. There's one life, creating everything out of itself by becoming what it creates, and I cannot be separate from that. It lives in me. It's a part of my aliveness, and I know it through my mind. And I get to name it, I get to claim it, I get to describe it to myself. And of course, that's what's been happening down through the eons. This teaching has a very clear description of it. And when those 2 steps are really, and we teach this, so it's something we can learn. When they are really done with some grateful energy, the 3rd step arises. And the 3rd step is called realization. We don't construct it. It does itself. The 3rd step is based in gratitude, and it says, that which I thought was missing, I already have in the spiritual realm. It is alive in that quantum field, if you will. It is here now. The reason I know it's real is because I thought of it. You see, we're meant to take those qualities of love and joy and peace and supply and intelligence and do things with them. So we get ideas. And when we have a good idea, like, I want more love in my life, that's an idea. We thought of it because it's possible. Because we are the way it comes into this field is by our expression of it. Okay, so the 3rd step does itself. And it's something like this. We say, my desire is alive in the spiritual realm and lives in me ready to be expressed. This is the secret, the big secret. We only get what we want when we express it. And we only express it when we know we already have it, and that's called gratitude, spiritual gratitude. All right? So ErnestHolmes didn't add on the fourth and fifth step, which is release and gratitude, because he knew they were inherent if the third step arose from that depth of our knowing. They were part of it. So gratitude is this feeling of, it is done, I know it, I feel it, I see it, it is mine to express, I am grateful. That's what it's all about. So in spiritual mind treatment, we know we have already received our desire in mind through the idea, and the out-picturing of it is automatic. It'll show up in our world in some way just for us. ErnestHolmes says, that's when you feel like God is specifying just for you. And it is. This beautiful creative process is highly individualized. If that weren't true, we'd all have the same experience all the time and the universe would probably shut off. It would be like an automaton. But no, we are all different and we all express love in our own unique way, so we have a unique experience of it, ours alone. And that's how we can expand it, when we realize this is mine alone. That little song that we sang, Love is My Decision, is a very powerful statement. It's how I decide to express love gives me an experience of love that I haven't had before. If I choose to express it in a more inclusive way, in a deeper way, in a more immediate way to everybody I meet, then I have a different experience. There's nothing, it's not missing anymore. It's right inside of me. So there are times in every life when challenges seem to overcome us, but later, looking back, we might even be grateful for them. Ralph Waldo Emerson spoke about this in the most evocative way. I'm going to read you a passage from it in a minute. Because sometimes things that we have experienced, maybe they led to our awakening. Maybe they led us to a place like this. You know, there's an old saying in Science of Mind, people either come to this from inspiration or desperation. I came from both. I was inspired by some people who told me about it, and I was a little desperate. My life was not really working, but I was a single mother on welfare, 2 little kids. Paychecks bouncing. It wasn't pretty. Came into this, things started to change. Okay, so maybe some past experience elicited in us some kind of emotional healing, which we might call forgiveness, a deep emotional healing that we had to have. In my life, I wouldn't wish my childhood on anybody, certain parts of it. It wasn't all bad, nothing's all bad, but it was bad enough. I wouldn't wish it on anybody, but I'll tell you what it gave me. Compassion. You can't shock me with your story. I can always see through it. It gave me the ability to hear other people's stories and to have a feeling of, yes, and we can do this with that. We can move it, we can heal it, we can open it up and make it into something we can be grateful for. It doesn't mean we necessarily forgive the act. We're not required to do that if it was hurtful, but that we become to an understanding that we were greater than what happened. We look back and think, well, I'm still here. I guess I was greater than any of it. I'm still here. And I'm still strong, and I'm still happy, and I'm still alive, and I still got a lot to give, right? So in some way, Emerson's essay, I've read this before too. I know I have because I read it all the time. I highly encourage you to get this book, or mine that I wrote about his essays. And, oh, this is my marker. Page 92. It's the very last paragraph in the essay on compensation, which is metaphysicians, you've got to read this. And Emerson is essential to our teaching. Okay, so I'm going to read it, and I'm sorry it's a little wordy, but it's worth it. Okay, he says, the compensation of calamity are made apparent to the understanding after long intervals of time. A fever a mutilation, a cruel disappointment, a loss of wealth, a loss of friends, seems at the moment unpaid loss and unpayable. But the sure reels reveal the deep remedial force that underlies all facts. Oh God, I love that, the deep remedial force. It's always active. See, it's always present in us, right here and now. Whatever it is that's challenging us, there is a deep remedial force that if we turn it over to it, it can move us into a different relationship with the experience. So the death of a dear friend, wife, brother, lover, which seemed nothing but privation, somewhat later assumes the aspect of a guide or genius. For it commonly operates revolutions in our way of life, terminates an epoch of infancy or of youth which was waiting to be closed, breaks up a wanted occupation or a household or style of living, and allows the formation of new ones more friendly to the growth of character. It permits or constrains the formation of new acquaintances and the reception of new influences that prove of the first importance to the next years of our life. And the man or woman who would have remained a sunny garden flower with no room for its roots and too much sunshine for its head, by falling into the walls and the neglect of the gardener, is made the banyan of the forest, yielding shade and fruit to wide neighborhoods of men. And just that last sentence is really interesting. That's something that looks lost. It looks like it can never recover. But it fell because of the neglect, and then it became the banyan tree. Then it became deeply rooted in the soil of life and became the source of the next steps. Isn't that beautiful? You gotta read Emerson. He's got it all. So he's advising us to remain in gratitude no matter what. I know it's not easy, but that's what spiritual practice is. It isn't easy. It's to do things in the moment when they need to be done. Not when you feel great. You do them then there that time too. But when things are challenging, then you go to work. Do your treatments, do your meditations, speak the truth, read these people. And remember the Martin Luther King Jr.'s of the world that made terrific changes because they believed in the good. So he's advising us to not wait for some particular thing to be grateful for, but thankful for all of it because it's all God and it's all good. And so to close, I made up I do this, I make ditties. An attitude of gratitude is not a platitude. It is the opposite of catitude. It gives us spirit, latitude, to create beyond our expectitude. Thank you. And here's Richard again.
Now here's a song by John Buccino. He's a New Yorker. You know what I'm talking about. So am I. I mean, I feel a sense of oneness. It's called Grateful, and goes like this. I've got a roof over my head. I've got a warm place to sleep. Some nights I lie awake counting gifts instead of counting sheep. It ain't so bad, you know. I've got a heart that can hold love. I've got a mind that can think. There may be times when I lose the light and let my spirit sink, but I can't stay depressed when I remember how I'm blessed. Grateful, grateful, in a city of strangers. I've got a family of friends. You guys are in it too. No matter what rocks and brambles fill the way, they will still sing until the end, my friends. I feel a hand holding my hand. It's not a hand you can see, but on the road to the promised land, this hand will shepherd me through delight and despair, holding tight and always there. Grateful, grateful, truly grateful I am. Grateful, grateful, truly blessed and duly grateful. Truly blessed and duly grateful. Grateful. Thank you.
I'm really grateful. It was so much fun for me to be here in person again and hear Dr. Carol and just know that things unfold so perfectly. Everyone may not know that I was absent for a couple of months due to illness, and it's just so great. When you're absent, when you miss something, and then you come back, you just see how fantastic it is, and you feel so much even more grateful.
That's what we feel about you, too.
Yes, anyway, this is our time when we get to support the center. And, oh, great. I could see Jim is all prepared. I wanted to say something. I was reading the Christian Science Monitor, and it's mostly news, only in a nice way, put in a nice way. But every issue, they have like a little Christian Science principle, and they're kind of like distant cousins of ours. But it was talking about sharing substance. Only the article was about how the author had been feeling so down in the dumps, and how she felt so much better once she was able to cheer someone else up. Mm-hmm. And how that reset her own living, her own sense of being. And I just think, you know, when we talk about supporting our center, it happens in so many ways. Financial is only one of the many ways in which we support each other. So I just wanted to say that. And if you look in your program, getting back to the financial part, well, every part, not just financial. There's a saying, so let's say that together. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I am, and all that I give. I know this is so, and so it is. And then let's sing.
Please join me. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Thank you, everyone. And of course, I forgot to mention that you can also give online at our website or on Venmo or Zelle. We're very modern. So I just have a few announcements. And if you are online, you can find out more at our CSL Carlsbad.org website. So the most important thing of today is it's November birthday Sunday. So do we have anyone here right now? Yes, Larry. Hey, Larry, when's your birthday? November birthday, so we all get to have a cake. Let's sing.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Larry. Happy birthday to you. Oh, this is very important. Thank you, all our volunteers. We had to put little pumpkins on that one. Happy pumpkin. Okay, this is what I was just about to say. New day for our monthly potluck. It's going to be on November 23rd, the Sunday before Thanksgiving. So usually we have it on the 3rd. This will be the 4th Sunday of the month. I also wanted, oh yes, and of course, spiritual mind treatments are available. In the lobby, you can put in a written request, or you can see, we're going to raise our hands. Dr. Carol, Dr. Maddie, Practitioner Larry, we're available for one-on-one treatment during fellowship. I think that's the slides, right? Thank you, Daryl. Thanks for doing that for us. I also want to let everyone know that we do have the new Science of Mind magazines available. They cover November and December. They're in the bookstore. And one other thing. I know there's been quite a lot of news about people needing to go to food banks, things like that. And I just wanted to say that a lot of us tend to not ask for help. If you need help, there's nothing wrong with asking for help. You know, just because it has to do with food or money, that doesn't mean you can't ask for help. So you can see one of our ministers or practitioners after the service. The other thing I wanted to share is that here locally, you can dial on your phone 211, and someone will actually answer and can tell you where your newest food bank is or any other assistance you need. And the other thing that I just found out from another minister is there's a website, I think it's nationwide. It's called findhelp.org. And it lists all kinds of resources nationwide. It's like a huge database. But I looked at it, and it gives all the, well, I don't know all, but it appeared to list all of the different food banks and food pantries in San Diego County. So you go put in your zip code, and it tells you which near you. I just wanted to share that because you may know someone who is used to getting their food on an EBT card or something like that. It's not about you. It's something you can share with other people. I know in the past I've had people call 211 for all kinds of things, addiction recovery, all kinds of things, and they have been helpful. And so, last, but most importantly, I want us to recognize some of today's volunteers. So thank you, Jessica, for the setup. Thank you, William, but he is not in the room right now, but he did a good job too. And thank you, Larry, for being our greeter. And especially thank you, JP, for bringing our flowers today. Let's make JP done. Maddie, the candle lighting, and thank you in advance to Morgan, who said she would help clean up after we have our cake. So just reminding you that thank you, Morgan. And of course, Donnie and Daryl for doing the recording and the slides and our sound system today. So, in closing, I'd just like to share, or would you like to do the closing treatment?
No, you go ahead.
Okay, I'll do the closing treatment. As we just knew together, that is a wonderful world, is a wonderful universe, that there's infinite good, and we are grateful. That throughout this week, as we go through our lives, we carry that spirit of gratitude, that constant recognition that we are one with light and life is wonderful. And no matter what seems to be happening, and we don't deny the facts that appear, nothing is fixed. Change is always possible. And then we can constantly use our minds to make new decisions and allow new, wonderful expressions of good to flow out from our hearts and our minds into this glorious universe. I know it's the truth. I give thanks it's so, and invite you to join me by saying together, and so it is. Beautiful. So now if you want to stand on the backs of your programs, we have our closing song.
Join me, please. Open your heart, let your love go free, out over the ocean, right across the street. Let it flow like a river, let it fly like a dove, till your heart remembers you can't stop love.